has this news cycle or this kind of new referral over to the DOJ for investigations into Clapper, Comey, Brennan, and particularly now Obama, has this sort of satisfied or brought people back to the same team in any way? And are some of those still, part two here is, are some of those tensions still percolating in the background, or have they all kind of gotten back on the same page?
I think that for this specific investigation, the team of the Trump administration is united, right, in sort of trying to find out more information. But to say that because of that, there are still not fissures would be inaccurate. I think that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are still extremely frustrated over the handling of the Epstein files. I think that there's still a lot of anger at Pam Bondi. I don't think that goes away just because they're kind of working together on this Obama stuff and Russiagate. I think both things can be true at once. They're working together on one thing, but there's still a lot of anger. And one of my questions that I have is long term, how are they all going to be able to work together? Because there's real significant animosity. I mean, to the point where Dan Bongino was literally ready to resign a few weeks ago over the Epstein files, and he's still really frustrated. And Kash Patel is also really frustrated. They're handling it in different ways, but the frustration is certainly still there.
Well, can you tell us more about that, how they're handling it in different ways? And even just because, again, if you're not someone that's super well-sourced in the White House and in the administration, you actually might not be seeing any of this because Bongino and Patel have done a fairly good job of making any of those tensions kind of look invisible to, again, somebody who's not well-sourced in the White House or in the administration. But your point here, what you're saying, is that this is still real and still simmering. So what do we know from your reporting behind the scenes of what's going on there?
Well, I think in terms of how they're handling it differently, you have Kash Patel is a little bit more measured. He was pretty quick to come out with a statement on Twitter that kind of contradicted what everybody was hearing, basically saying that he is confident in everything and that he stands behind the president. That is not what I was hearing behind the scenes. There was real frustration there. Whereas you had Dan Bongino, who really let those rumors about his frustration fly.